Now, why did I write that book? I wrote that book because I discovered that men don't know anything about female sexuality. And that explains why men behave so stupidly. Why do you think you go into a bar and see men lined up to buy drinks for women? Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they think that's what it takes to get laid. Why do men celebrate Valentine's Day, which I call No Man's Day, because it isn't Romance Day. Romance is spontaneous, and it's unexpected, and it's voluntary, and it's mutual. And Valentine's Day is none of that. Every year we see commercials on TV for Valentine's Day, telling men what they have to buy women. They show men stupid, you have to buy pajamagrams or Vermont teddy bears or candy or jewelry, and that's the way it is every year. And if the man doesn't know what he's doing, he's clueless, and of course he's not going to get laid. That's why I say that most dating and marriage is legal prostitution. But the fact of the matter is, it keeps happening. And it keeps happening because men don't understand something very basic, which is why I wrote Under the Clitoral Hood. And that is that women are more sexual than men. And you know, it's unbelievable that most guys don't get that. Women are buying vibrators and they're buying hand showers. They are more sexual than males. Have you ever heard of a drug dealer paying an addict to take drugs? I don't think so. So why would you pay a woman to have sex when she wants it more than you do? And it's clear. But because men don't realize that, they just keep paying for sex and paying for sex. And either paying their girlfriends or they're paying their wives. And that's why there are jewelry stores. And if men don't learn about female sexuality, and if they don't learn how sexual women are, because that's another taboo in our country. We're not allowed to admit that. If a woman is sexual, then somehow that makes her a slut. That's a double standard we have. But it's okay for a man to be sexual. Now, just to give you a little clinical tutorial here, the clitoris has one purpose: sexual arousal. A man has no body part, zero, that's 100% dedicated to sexual arousal. Right? Not one. A woman can have multiple orgasms. A man can't. So if you put those two together, she's a sex machine. But most guys don't know that. And they think the way to turn a woman on? Cash. Trips, jewelry, cars. That's what they think. It's not true. And what I say in my book is the clitoris is voice activated, not coin activated. I wrote 2 articles, one called Chasing Pavlovian Sex, and another one, Ladies, How to Catch Your Tiger. And it had to do with Tiger Woods. And as you know, Tiger Woods chased and chased and chased and chased Elin Nordegren. Chased her. She didn't want to go out with him. He chased her and chased her. Just had to have her. And what you women have to understand is there's nothing more boring to a man than his last conquest. Boring. So if you like to be chased, you're setting yourself up to be a conquest. And you will be dropped very quickly. When you watch football, see a guy score a touchdown. He goes back to the bench. Does the coach say, you can take a shower now and go home? No, he says you have to go out there and score another one, and another one, and another one. So if you want to be a touchdown, that's how you're going to be treated. So if you want to be pursued, you can be pretty sure the guy's going to cheat on you because after he catches you, you're boring. That's why it should be mutual pursuit. It should be equal. Yes?
But realistically, men like the chase.
No, little boys like the chase.
Men like the chase.
Men don't like the chase. Little boys like the chase. No, little boys like the chase. No, it does. No. Let me tell you something. You have to understand the difference between a man and a boy. A man likes a woman to be his equal, and a little boy doesn't because he can't take it. And I'm glad you brought this up because.
How many real men do we have?
Well, about as many real women as we have, not many. I'm glad you brought this up because there are guys who like to chase. And if you read my article, Chasing Pavlovian Sex, I said, you all have had the experience of seeing a dog chase a car, right? A dog's not interested in the car. A dog's just interested in chasing it. That's the same thing when a guy chases a woman. He couldn't care less about her. He just wants to chase her. Because if she turns around and says, I'm going to take you somewhere, and if he feels emasculated, that means he has no balls. He's a eunuch. His masculinity Because that guy's masculinity is here and not in his scrotum. And that's the difference. That's the difference between a little boy and a real man. If you can't handle a woman saying, I have 2 tickets to the opera, I'm taking you out. If you can't handle that, you really need to examine yourself, because you have a few problems. And so women say to me all the time, well, I offered to pay, but he wouldn't let me. Has that happened to anybody in this room? First of all, he's not your boss, and he's not your father. He doesn't decide whether you pay or you don't pay. You don't offer to pay, you pay. And if he can't handle it, he's a little boy. And that means you don't go out with him again, because you're not going to change him, nor should you try. Yes?
Where is manhood? Where is man protective and supportive quality? Why men? That's why it's so many gay guys now. They want to be protected, and they have to be taken care of.
So we're going back to the original argument about a real man protects and provides for a woman. How does that work out for men? How does that work out for men? And of course, that's turning men gay. That's a new one for me. Women file 70% of the divorces. How's that working out for men, the protecting and providing bit? AOL and Women's Day magazine 3 years ago surveyed 3,000 married women and asked them, would you marry your husband all over again? 85% of them said either they probably wouldn't or definitely wouldn't marry them again. Something is broken. So what you're saying, Tatiana, is that you don't like equality and you want to be protected and provided for. And what does the man get from that? What does he get out of that?
I want men next to me.
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah.
Not somebody with spreaded hand. You know, I cannot respect men who wait for handouts.
Well,
From women.
what is it when you get it? Is it not called a handout?
No.
Oh, I see. Why didn't I think of that? So when a woman has her hand out, that's not a handout. But when a man has his hand out, then it's a handout. We have more psychologists than ever in this country, and we're more dysfunctional than ever in this country. So I decided to look at the situation logically. I looked at my own life, I looked at the lives of my friends, and I've been on radio and TV. I interacted with callers all over the place. I keep hearing the same things over and over again. So I just made a very logical conclusion about what's really going on. And what's really going on is that men are wimps, they're eunuchs, and women are merchant marines. They expected to be paid for sex, and that's why men and women don't work.